Hola, Paulina. ¿Me escuchas?
Sí.
¿Ya lista? No nos debería tomar mucho, pero...
Eso espero.
Sí, yo también voy entrando así como, no, al atardecer y todo. Hablar. ¿Quieres, ya tienes tu cuenta
¿Y cuenta de qué?
de 7 Vortex?
Ah, no, todavía no tengo mi
Mira,
cuenta.
fíjate, te comparto, ¿no? Lo que llegan los demás.
Sí.
Te metes aquí a 7 Vortex, 7vortex.com, y aquí arriba tiene un join. Le das clic al join y te aparece esto. Y aquí le das sign up. Y aquí yo me meto con con el mío, o sea, le pones un mail y un password
Sí, un password.
o lo que quieras y le pones aquí agree. Como yo ya lo tengo, entonces le voy a dar en el login, ¿va? Básicamente todo el mundo es responsable, o sea, cada quien es responsable de lo que pone ahí.
Ok.
Y pues la idea es como más conectar información o sea, curar información.
Ujú.
Entonces te sale algo así y aquí en My Creations te sale uno que dice Playground. Si le das Create, te va a salir algo parecido a esto.
Y entonces uno empieza a jugar.
Ajá, sí. Y es un playground que en este caso es el único que es privado. Pero como se hace, es que se jala una línea de adentro hacia afuera y se crea una burbuja. Se jala una línea de adentro hacia afuera y se crea otra. Y puedes conectarlas. Ya si quieres ahorita explico lo demás, pero voy a necesitar que, como ya tienes tu usuario, ahorita vamos a entrar a la parte de colaborar.
A ver, voy haciendo mi usuario.
Ajá.
De una vez.
Sí, sí. Porque ahorita voy a poner colaborar y vas a ver cómo vas a poder participar. O sea, por ejemplo, para tus clases y así. Estoy viendo que hay alguien que está haciendo como canvas de negocios aquí.
Hi.
Hi, Dorna. How are you?
Hi, good. I don't know. Your March 30th email I did get, but somehow I missed the link in there. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. We're just about to start, actually.
Okay. Who else is here? Are Sherry and
Paulina. For the
okay.
moment, just Paulina.
All right, Sherry and let's see, Kristen, I think are the other two supposed to come in.
Okay.
So I've already seen the presentation. I'll listen to it, but I may get pulled out for something.
Look, I'm gonna wait for the rest of the people. But actually, the idea is to explore how to put together these things, right?
Well, mostly well, Sherry's seen and Kristen hasn't. Mostly, it's more to see it to decide if it's something that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Because
So,
truthfully, like I said, if we decide to do something like this, I don't want to. I don't think anybody on the committee or I want to, really want to do it. I would have you, put it together.
yeah. Well, we'll see how it works. Today, I also invited Catherine and Paulina because they wanted to put together kind of a knowledge base for teachers. So
Okay.
it was a good opportunity just to show how to do it and
Okay.
an example.
Okay, well, let's see. So Sherry, I got the email from Sherry because I wrote to everyone and said, gee, I haven't got a link from Hugo. I hope he's okay. I don't know if we're having the meeting. And Sherry wrote back and said, it's in the March 30th email.
I've been a few days offline and I'm just getting back.
2 days of line?
Offline.
Offline, okay.
Yeah, a few days offline. Yeah, like about
Okay,
3.
that's good. I'm all for that.
Yeah, I was really willing to reconnect with nature, like.
Yeah, I've actually been spending a lot of time outside in my garden planting, and I have all these great projects of things I want to do to make my house look really cool or my garden look really cool. So I've been doing them, and to the deficit of doing some of the work on the computer because it's been so beautiful. I don't want to go inside.
Exactly, totally the same for me. So I did, let's say I did a parenthesis for this meeting. It would last no more than half an hour. and
Okay.
then I'll go back. But I've been planting also all day long. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as soon as we're done here, I'm going outside.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I don't see Sherry or Kristen on yet. Oh, here comes Sherry.
Sure is there.
We just
Yeah.
said your name, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
It's Catherine. Okay.
Hi, Catherine. How are you?
My son just showed up, so I had to go say hi.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. Totally fine. Like, thanks for giving a little bit of your Sunday today. Yeah.
All right, we're all here.
Yeah. So shall we start?
Yes.
So the idea today, if I wanted to do a mix because I saw that Catherine and maybe Paulina was like duplicated into the meetings. So we say, what if we just explore the same meeting, but with you girls? Like, so it was just the idea to show how it works and how can we make something collaborative. And let's see if it's useful. If it's not, it is fine as well, right? Like I don't think like pushing any tool should be any end. Like it is really to test if it's useful. So what I've heard from Catherine and Paulina, it was like we wanted to put out something like a knowledge base to explore common material together. So you can put some material in English, some other material in French, some other material in, I don't know, German, maybe you have something, and just to put it together, right? So the way that is gonna happen, it won't last more than half an hour. And I would like you to make the first of all, the user, so we can create something collaborative. And I'm gonna start by sharing my screen to show you how it works. And you tell me if you can see it, please. Is that okay for you, or you wanted to do something else?
That's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So in my case, well, I have my user, but I'm gonna do it again. So you go to 7vortex.com, and in 7vortex.com, you will have something like this. So this is what I call the open innovation source. So whoever has done a vortex and in a public way is going to be here. So there are many things, like different things going on right now. So for example, I don't know why, but Coca-Cola has been putting some of their structure here. So value proposition, it seems that a business school, kind of sustainability business school, has been putting something together here. But also we have like something around systemic biomimicry and this kind of stuff, right? So this is a place where we can see different kinds of curations. So the main thing is about how to create the information. So this is a nice example that I did with other people. So we are trying to put together information on the COVID, right? So right now is kind of a trend topic. So we decided to put some categories around it. So I will show you how to do it, but I would like you to see first something that is collaborative. So by putting this, and it is not moving, sure, we're just making a knowledge base on things. So for example, the data that is here, I'm gonna put it in the preview mode. The data that is here, we've been putting it all together. So something like this could be a knowledge base for different people, right? So let me just explore it. So for example, this one, and I put the link, I put an abstract, so we know what we are talking about. So going back to the regions, please click here where it says join. Paulina has already done it, I think. And where it says join, you will have a login page. So if it's your first time, then please put sign up.
2017 movie directed by James Mangold.
I'm sorry, my phone I hit my phone.
It's fine. And so you sign up here, and then you put an email and a password, and then agree in the terms and conditions, and then sign up. In my case, I already have the user, so I will go to login, and I will just click on login. You tell me whenever it's ready.
Ready?
Okay.
Cool. So what I'm gonna do is to create one vortex or one map, which is this one here. I'm gonna click on create. And in your case, if it's your first one, it will say playground. This playground will be private for, like the first one is private, and then the rest are public. And if you want the membership, if you want the others to be private, then you have to buy the membership. This is the business model, right? So to make a bubble, you just drag and drop a line out of the bubble. That's it. So 1 or 2 or 3. So for example, if I put here biomimicry for youth, and then I do here, let's say English, Spanish, and French. Is that okay? Or you want another one, another language, Catherine? It's okay. So usually,
Show us how to add another one. Can you show us how to add another one?
yeah, sure. So yeah, I just drag and drop a line outside. So
Okay.
this could be, I don't know, let's say German. And this is gonna be moving, right? So if I want to make it static, then I go to the curate mode, and then I just take this one, I put it here, and I pin it. So if I want a structure, like really, really specific structure, then I can just place them wherever I want. If I want something to be like a bigger size because English is more important, so I can make it big, or I can make it small. So this is the way that we curate information, right? So for doing this, I'm gonna set it up collaborative and public, right? And now I'm gonna take the link, which could be the same one here or here, and I'm gonna put it into the chat. If you go to the chat, you will have the link, and now this vortex is collaborative. So it is here in the collaborate, not in explore, but in collaborate, or in the link, you go straight away and you will appear around here.
So can you tell if it worked for us?
So if you are here, then it will work for you. But what you have to see, what you will see is something like this, right? So you have to click on this one, on the edit mode. So start collaborating, and you will have something like saying your email address will be visible, at least for me, and start collaborating.
Go ahead. I don't understand.
Sorry, tell me. I can go back.
Well, I clicked on the link.
Yeah. Can you share your screen?
Oh, I see it. Okay, thank you. No, I got it.
Yeah. Is everyone okay? Are you okay, Catherine? Yeah. Lorna?
Yep.
Paulina? Fine, cool. So let's say that once that you click on collaborate, you will be in this one. You can drag another link here. So please make a line, one line and one bubble. Create one bubble, please.
So we have to sign up before we can do any of that, right?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Yeah. So there is one. You've seen it, it appeared. And this one belongs to, let's see, this one belongs to Paulina, right? So Paulina, you can change the content. And for example, you can say this is on, I don't know, an organism or a link that you are interested in. And that will be one part of the knowledge base. There is another one here that is from myself, yeah. So just Paulina has done it. Okay, so there is an organism there. So since I'm the owner of the map, then I'm the only one being able to edit on everything. But if Paulina wants to edit on the ones that I have done it, then it is not possible. Can you make another one, Paulina, please? Like maybe to ajolote you can put Xochimilco, or you can put something else, right? Like you start making connections in between them. So for example, if I have a axolotl, then let's go to as nature, for example. You will see my screen. In as nature, we can put newt. I think is the same kind of thing. So the newt, I can just make one here. There are many bubbles now. So in English, I will say newt. In the newt, I can put the 7 vortex, the as nature file. And I can click on an image to upload it. So in my desk, there's the image of the newt. Upload. And then if I want, I can put a small abstract here. So whenever my students wants to go to the link, they can just come here. And if you put a picture, for example, Paulina, try to put a picture, please. And you will have a picture there. So since
I
I'm
don't see a picture.
well, in this one, I have a picture. And I put it here.
What's your screen? Can you share your screen?
Sorry, yeah. I thought that I was sharing it, sorry.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so here in the card, you have an image, and you put upload an image. And then, for example, I brought this one from As Nature. And then I copied the link, and I paste it here. I put newt, the link of As Nature, the picture here, and then I saved it. So I have something else here. Maybe this ajolotl is linked with the newt, right? So I'm going to edit, and then I click here, and they are connected. And I can just move them. So if it's too big, then I can make it smaller. And then one step at a time, we can build a whole database, right? So for example, well, you all have done something. So you know now how to do it, right?
I just added one thing.
Okay, let's see when it comes. It has a delay of 4 or 5 seconds.
No, it's on there. It's Pelican.
Cool, so this is yours, Sherry. These are Paulina's, Newt, and Dorna. Are you gonna put something, or Catherine, or not?
No, I hadn't logged into it. I was just watching.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna go in.
You're in mute, Catherine. Yep.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I cannot log in, so I will watch.
Okay. So the way that, for example, I send you an email with Deborah Bidwell using it. Right? So Deborah has used it. Mm-hmm. She's professor from a university in US, and she has done it like this. This is open, right? So in her case, she was building around the ethos, reconnect, and emulate. So she has done all her curriculum into this format. And in every bubble, she has planned activities, and the explanation is in the link that I sent it to you. But well, her own explanation. But this is something that we can go one by one and see the whole curriculum inside. Right? So it keeps changing. It depends what you put there. So she's using this, and many other people, like students, for example. This is Canvas, and there are many different kinds of cases here. For example, this is the life principles. So the life principles could be, for example, related to specific cases. So it depends what you want to show to the students, but I think this could build a case together on different bubbles adding information, right? So I don't know if it's useful for you, Catherine, or not at all. And for you, Paulina, yeah.
I can really see, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so I can really see, yes, it could be useful if, yeah, to get to select different example when you do like even a challenge, you know, maybe to help students to organize their ideas but for the working group, I mean, for teaching resources, I think that it could, we can try to, yeah, to spread the different resources that are listed in Ask Nature, and to do something like that, yes.
Yeah, so something very specific, right? You have an example, or you want to build on a genus of place, or on a genus on an ecosystem. For example, the coconut. I did it just for the biomimicry professionals to show them how to use an image behind, and then you place the bubbles, and then you have something as an explanation of on an organism, also for the classes, right? So you can build an ecosystem or yeah, a genus of place there. And we also have the biome, for example. The biome is this one, the genus of biome. And you can see here, it's a systemic way of explaining things. So let me just put you somewhere else. So for example, this one is telling you how an ecosystem could give you economic, energy, social, materials. So instead of reading in a paper, like in a 20 pages document, you can give it something interactive to your students to play with the computer and to start discovering, and to make it two ways as well, right? So maybe they want to add some information into it. So instead of just pushing information, you can also receive information from them. And it has been used also as a like business canvas. Let me put biology, for example, biology to design. I use it for a canvas of biomimicry thinking. So using this, you can connect in the order that you want, and it can be explained like this. So I think it's very like unique for biomimicry thinking, and it could be helpful because biomimicry thinking is more systemic than just matrices. So you can define the context, and in each of them, you can put something. So for example, if you make a user, can you put your email into your user, Paulina, into the chat, please? So I can send you this, and I will, since I have a premium membership, then I can put just here the email, Paulina. So this is the user. When I put it here, she will have already, wait, she will have it here. So now you can see it in your own screen, Paulina, and you will have a copy in my creations. So this is going to be around there. So I've been using it for, well, it could be Synapse, also for the climate change activity solution, biomimicry solution. So this could be used as a collection, right, Paulina? And also Catherine, well, more on your side, I think is more useful. Let's say, for example, if I share this with the students, I can just make a picture or like a screenshot, and I can use it for WhatsApp. So you will have another way of communicating with your students. Just put in here the chat. You will have it here and with a picture in case, well, it's not always here where you can share a picture, but just with a picture, you can also put it in WhatsApp. So I don't know if there is a question, doubt, if comments, like whatever you feel to share here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We can do ecosystem inside an ecosystem, right? You can ecosystems, because teaching materials, we have a lot of information, and I was thinking how to organize.
Yeah.
And maybe I can organize in some subjects, and then inside the subjects, some other stuff.
I don't know if you are.
I need a lot of ecosystems inside.
For example, Raúl Villafranca, I don't know if you are familiar with him.
Yeah.
But he's also from biomimicry. He has been using it, right? So he uses it for his projects, and he asks the students to put their vortex here, their maps or ecosystems, as you want to call it. And from here, they have a screenshot, so they upload the image, and then you can go to the other one, right? And this is what you want. So since we are following life principles, so everything here is modular and nested, right? And it could keep evolving, like to survive in a way, in a digital way, right? I'm not trying to say that this is alive, but at least as a design criteria, I've been following like deeply these kind of principles. And the last thing that I think is interesting for you as a teachers and for example, Sherry as a biologist, is the energy exchanges. So everything is around energy exchanges, right? If there is a mining company, for example, polluting the river, you will see that this relationship is predatory. So the mining will gain energy and the river will lose energy. So you have these biological relationships just to visualize them. So positive, positive, or negative, negative. It depends, right? So the ideal will be a mining company that actually is not polluting anything and it's adding value at the same time that getting something from nature, which is almost seems impossible. But if we focus on these relationships in any given ecosystem, we can also teach biomimicry without saying exactly that is biomimicry, just by learning of the biological relationships. And this is a deep pattern that we have in 7 Vortex. So whenever it's useful, you use it. Sometimes it's not. It is just a mind mapping tool for organizing information as you want to use it, Paulina. But sometimes it's interesting just to see how it works for some other people.
That's really cool. I like that feature.
Thank you. And this is exactly the thing that I couldn't find, right? Because mind mapping tools, you find them. But mind mapping tools with the biomimicry inside, you cannot find it. So the very deep pattern is this one. So whenever you come here and you put, for example, energy exchanges.
So,
yeah.
So would you, because I logged on, how did you do that again? You just clicked on?
On create.
Okay, create, okay.
So you can explain, for example, the whole ecosystem of your surrounding your school and try to see who is eating who and all this it's nourishing chain or trophic chain is the name?
Trophic, yeah.
Yeah, the biologist, I'm sorry. So in my case, it also works for giving a different perspective on a market, right? Because usually as a sustainability minded people, it's very difficult to explain this kind of thing. So these are the 6 types of relationships that we have, and you can see them here. So for example, these buttons, they can just on, off, there are on-off buttons, and you can hide them or underline them. So if you want to see the collaborative relationship, the commensalism, and usually the way it happens in biology, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cheryl, but this is what I've seen. So, no, this is not the one. Energy exchanges. So you can look for biomimicry here or energy exchanges. So this is the one. So this is how we look at relationships in biology, right? Like species A in commensalism receives benefit or not affected. Mutualism is positive, positive. But just by arranging them in a different way and just making them a pattern biomimicry way, sorry, then we have something very cool and very interesting. So computers so far are zeros and one, but an ecosystem is plus, 0, and minus. And this changes the whole equation if you want to work in sustainability. So that allows the students also to experiment, and you can put the facts into the relationship, such as a picture and a screenshot of an Excel spreadsheet. So it depends what arguments you have, but there are so many things that are obvious, right? Like this one, predatory relationship. So there are 9 in total because of the senses, like it depends where you put the plus and where you put the minus, the senses of the relationships. But this is what happens, right? And you can present it as if you have an image, you can present it in a linear way. So you can just do the arrows. And this is how it looks like for biologists. But now I thought that if I wanted to explain how an ecosystem works and systemic thinking, it was better to have something attractive and something easy for the kids and for the young people to play with. So this is what it's meant to. And it is also a repository. So if you come here, if you don't want to do all this thing, in Discover, once that you have your user, in Discover here, you have a biomimicry collection. So in this biomimicry collection, for example, you can see Tamsin's book. She knows that it's here. And so, for example, you want to talk about superorganisms, right? So they have some patterns, and you can come here and explore it in this way. You click on the number. So swarm creativity. It takes social networks, shared purpose, and experiments, right? If you click inside, there is not so much information because the idea here is to promote her book. So if you come here, you will have the link to the Amazon place so she can sell more, right? And in this way, we have a win-win relationship in between both. Any question? We're about to have half an hour. I think so far.
Yeah, I have some questions.
Yeah, please.
So you showed me on your screen how to stop things from moving by going to layout, I think, but that just never works on my screen.
So the best navigation platform is Chrome, just in case that you are in Safari or Firefox. This is what is optimized to. I don't know if that's the problem, but here, for example, this is always moving, right? And I want this one, so I bring the bubble wherever I want and just release it, and that pins it. So I just place it in the way that I want.
Well, I'm talking about the one that you sent us from the.
Yeah, sorry, because I'm kind of the owner.
And this is my second question: is what this costs? Okay, yeah. So let's finish with the moving.
Okay, so here, in the one that we've been doing, it keeps moving because I'm the owner. So I'm the only one that actually can make the curation. So if you want to be the owner, I just have to make it to transfer.
No, I want like the one you sent me.
Yeah.
The one that you sent from the Biomimicry professional was moving so much I couldn't click on anything. So how do I make it stop moving around?
If I didn't do it originally, you cannot stop it. It has to be stopped since the beginning as a curation.
Okay.
Right.
So second question is, what's the cost?
So 10 euros per month or 100 euros per year. And that will give you private collaborations. So if I come here, membership, I will see it. Private ecosystems, transfer and copy, the one that I show you. And you can also embed it. So for example, if I want to have it in my own website, this is in WordPress, Biomimica. So I have the premium membership in WordPress and in Biomimica. And this is, for example, one that you could see embedded. Oh, this is just a picture, sorry. And the one that is embedded, I think, is this one. So you can see it fully moving here. But otherwise, this is also a good choice, Cheryl. Like you just paste a picture and then you have the link. And with the link, you go directly to the vortex. So it could form fits function somehow. So it could be living in different environments that is not always 7 vortex.
Okay, yeah, I totally missed all that. All right, so the other question is, let's say we do, let's say that Paulina creates a curriculum, or she creates she creates something for her students to be able to look at. How does everyone get to look at that in her group without her making it public for all of us?
No, in the moment that will be public. And this is what happens with the membership, right? If you all have the membership, then you can make private collaborations.
Right, but
Otherwise, the students,
her students can't join.
if it's public, then they can all keep adding things, right?
I'm talking about if she, let's say she makes a life's principles thing with lots of links and then examples of life's principles, and she wants her students to be able to look at it, but she doesn't want to make it public for everyone to see.
So this is what Deborah Bidwell did in the beginning, having private vortex with a premium membership. So you have your own vortex. So for example, I don't want the others to see the things that I have here. So there are some things that belongs to me and they are private. So I can see here, this is private, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I just share the link with you, this link, then it will stay private and just the people that I share the link with, they could be able to see it. Is that an answer? Yeah.
Thank you.
So I can also do it for a client, for example. Yeah. So in my case, for example, this is for the environmental minister in Colombia. And this is what I shared, right? I can also take pictures from this one and put it into a PowerPoint or a keynote. And then I do the hyperlink and I use this link. So from the presentation, I can come and I don't have to present all the time in 7 Vortex, right? So I make it more linear as well.
Okay, thank you.
So don't miss the video that I sent in my last email with Deborah Bidwell explaining on her own words how does she use it for students, right? Because she's explaining, like I put the curriculum here and I don't have all the words, I'm sorry, but might be easier to understand her instead of myself. But I presented to biomimicry professionals and they were all super, super happy because it allows everyone to, for example, in a in-person session, when you have all in one ecosystem, you can gather information from the same ecosystem around biomimicry. So that makes a group activity without right now being together, right? Like if we go all to our gardens and bring one bubble and try to meet one life principle, then very quick we'll have a whole collection of life principles on your local ecosystem. So that could create an activity or a challenge.
I saw the presentation of the teachers that you mentioned, and I was wondering. So she mentioned that she's going to make all the links available again. Mm-hmm. So is that something that will be public? So is that something we could use at the beginning, or to build on it, or is it something that is really related to her curriculum? What do you think?
So this is what she did. And this is public, right? If you go here and you put Bidwell in Explore, you just put Bidwell.
Yeah.
You will see. But what happened to her, and this is something that we just realized, is that the links of the Microsoft something that she was using, they were not. They don't work anymore. They work, right? Some of them they work. So this is public, and you can just go and find it and play with it. Okay. And you can see how she has done it. But for example, Cheryl, in this case, she hasn't put them all still, right? So they will move a little bit and then they will stay there. But totally, if she wants it, she could put it in a different way, but it's up to her. So she put it ethos, emulate, and some of the links, I don't know if all of them, but she said that they were not working anymore because they expired in Microsoft. But that's what she said, right? And the same happens with the YouTube videos, because you can also put YouTube videos, right? So sometimes in my case, I use a 7x7, so I don't make it too complicated. So for example, here, if I put biomimicry, I don't know, digital biomimicry, I just have 7 and it becomes easier, right? You just have 7, it is not so complicated. They're not moving so much, and you can use it as an e-magazine for your students as well. So they can explore it in a small screen, because as bigger, as more complex, and as more systemic, and you can get just overwhelmed by it. But for example, this is a video, right?
Yeah.
So YouTube, you just put the link here. Instead of image upload, you put embed YouTube video, and then you will have a YouTube video inside. If the link is broken, then it will broken afterwards. But if it's not, you can see the video straight away from the screen. So that is cool, because for younger people, you can see that they are more multimedia, right? And more interactive. So that could create a language with them that could be cooler than just like Excel sheets or whatever you use as a format. If you come here as well, for example, you have the drawdown project. I was playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have it here. And if you want to start from something more simple, you come here and you press in the one bubble, and then you start from scratch. And for example, here you have the video, but here you can immediately see where they are bigger, right? So in a list, it is difficult to see these kind of things. So they have some initiatives, but they are mainly in food and electricity and building. So if you want to see the example like this, and you can record your screen and also make videos very easily, right? So I just have 1 minute more. I don't know if you have something else, or we can reconnect if you want, but I didn't want to take more time. Is that okay?
So could you just, so I understand, compared to, I'm not very familiar with many minds and mapping software, but what is the difference? How would you say the difference compared to, so it's a possibility to do like more, to do the arrows, plus and minus. So what is the big difference compared to another
that would be the biological relationships. So causal loops are one to another, and biological relationships is a relationship between both, right? So this is the main thing that I couldn't find anywhere else. So I could mind map, but I couldn't explain an ecosystem.
Yeah, okay.
And system thinking is not ecosystem thinking.